So Justin, please tell what you do.
You know, I have no clue what I'm doing right now. Joking. Bad joke. So what I'm doing right now is what Kiss and I just did really quick is what's called kind of speed wrapping, is we did a color change on this hood, all right? So what's nice about today with color changes, you're not only just changing the color of a car, you can easily customize it, all right? And there's lots of different films, like right now on the helmets, what they used is like satin black and black metallic gloss and satin red cardinal. But what's really exciting film today is chrome, okay? But chrome is really interesting. And for me, it's a different animal. It came out in 2012, and Avery Dennison was the first company to come out with the true conform chrome. Really good stuff. Used to be polyester, but now it's cast. So now you can wrap cars and mirrors, all right? But because it's a different animal, you really have to know how to put it on. So in this demonstration, what we want to talk about is how to install chrome, what to think about, okay? Again, what I do with the Wrap Institute is I have a streaming video platform where I teach people how to wrap cars. I also do a lot of workshops. And with color change, you really have to know what the films can do and can't do, because they're not all the same, all right? So what I want to show with like this red right now, okay, John's going to help me pull off the backing paper right now, is if we pull off the backing paper and it does this. Sometimes this happens, all right? What this material has is what's called memory. So John will hold it here, and we're going to simply pull it apart. And because Avery has such a low initial tack, we can comfortably separate it, all right? But we couldn't put it on the car like this because it looks like crap. Looks terrible, lots of wrinkles. So because this material has PVC, the nature of PVC, the physical and chemical properties, is it has what's called memory. Where if I heat the film now, it goes back to its original shape and tension. So all these little wrinkles disappear. And once they disappear, once I let the material cool, John and I can simply just put it on the car and it's red. Awesome, okay? So what we can do also is if it gets light scratches, we can heat it and it self-heals. So the material for the most part is self-healing. We can also, if we pull it too much, okay, sometimes what it does is it tends to change color. Right now you see my fingers have made the material white, okay? But that's actually not terrible because I can fix it. No different than the wrinkles. If I heat it right now, that white and material shrink back to original color and I can start again. So it's really hard to screw this material up with normal film, okay? But let's look at chrome. Let's take this away here, okay? Chrome is cast, okay, and the material that John and I were just working with right now is 3.3 millimeters thick, or around 80 microns, okay? Chrome is 6.9 millimeters thick. It's more than double that. It's around 220 microns. Interesting, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we're gonna pick it up and we're gonna, John, what did you do, dude? Look what you did, dude.
What did you do?
So again, John can at least pull it apart and we're thinking, okay, we can fix this material, all right? So we pull it apart, nice and easy. And it looks exactly like the red did. But if I add heat, what happens? Do those wrinkles come out? I could heat this all day and we put it back on and do those wrinkles come out? No. So once chrome wrinkles, it is done, all right? What I've also noticed with chrome is if you squeegee, and John's gonna pick it up and pull, I'm gonna heat it while John pulls because we have to conform it to, let's say, this bumper and this car. If John pulls too hard right now, watch what happens. Did you see it turn white? Okay, that's what's called ghosting. So the chrome turned white because it's a metallicized layer. But now I'm thinking, because it's cast, because it's very flexible, I can shrink it back, take it back to its original color, and start again. Watch what happens. John's not gonna pull, he's just gonna let the material relax, and we're gonna shrink it back to its original shape and tension. You can see it shrink. But right now, it looks exactly the same. That whitening didn't disappear, it stayed. So now, we cut another piece. Now you think this material is maybe like, the red is around $25 a yard, meter. This is around 100. So when you screw the pooch on a very expensive way, okay?
You learn very quickly now.
You learn very quickly, okay? And also, what happens is if you get those dull scratches from your squeegee, if I try to self-heal it, those scratches don't come out. Interesting, okay? So what does that mean as an installer? It means that I have to use a different buffer. This is a very popular buffer, the Monkey Strip. If I use this on chrome, it will scratch. So what I have to use is a wet app buffer and lots of soap and water, all right? So I think Ole is still around, or maybe not. No, he's talking right now. So what John and I are gonna do is we're gonna wrap the side pieces on this hood, okay? And notice what Kiss and I did earlier, okay? is we wrap the entire hood in red because we don't want to have an overlap. We could have wrapped the red in the middle, cut it here, and then put chrome on top and had an overlap. But instead, we wrapped the whole thing red, and now we're going to put chrome on top almost like an overlay, okay? And notice that the knifeless tape we're using right now is CPR, okay? This is made to cut chrome. So I think we're good there, nice and straightforward. So again, for a lot of you who are interested in wrapping chrome, what John and I are going to do is we're going to wrap this together. With the red, John could be doing the trunk, and I could be doing this by myself. But with chrome, I think it's always good to work with two people, because even if you pull the backing paper off, if it creases, it's done. So I think having two people is really key. So I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to pull, and we're going to hold our breath. Joking. And we get it to here, okay? And then John's going to get it into position, right to here. And I get it close.
I think we need to do it at like an angle.
So we do it here, because again, we're going to try to use it, because the only thing that's hard about chrome right now is it's 120 centimeters wide, all right? So once we lock it, the trick is, all we're going to do right now is kind of lock it in right there with my thumb, and that's the last we're going to squeegee until we get it on, all right? So now we have it set up here, and what I'm going to do is, I'm going to kind of pull it, and John is going to maybe heat it, or do you want to pull and I'll heat it? It's up to you.
What do you want me to heat with? Heat gun?
Heat gun. So we're going to show two different ways to heat the chrome. We're going to use a heat gun, and we're going to use an IR heater. First time, okay, I'm going to use what I call triangles, where we're really trying to make the tension really minimal at the front. When you're wrapping, okay, if you look at the material, it tells you how it wants to go down. If you look at it from this angle here it's really flat. It's what I call glass, right here. But when you get to the front, the material starts to buckle. That tells you where the tension is, okay? So for me, John and I are looking here. He's going to heat it here, and I'm going to pull in the shape of what's called a triangle, and I'll talk about that more in the demo tomorrow. But watch how I pull, and notice how much heat John gives it. He's going to load it with heat. And what we're looking at right now is we're looking at for the material to kind of flatten out. So John's reading the wrinkles, I'm reading the wrinkles, but I'm not really pulling right now. But once we feel it's at the right temperature, and again, it takes a while to heat because it's chrome. And then once it's set, John's going to put the heat gun down, and then he's going to pull. So I feel like he thinks it's set. We're going to pull, and watch how we're pulling with glass. And John might pull again, shift the position right there. And then I'm going to pull and get it down nice and easy. So again, once we have it on the surface right here, I pick it up one more time, and I squeegee it down. And right now, the material to the edges is flat. But we're not going to squeegee yet. We're going to come back on this side, and I'll switch sides over here, and John will come here. So John's kind of the middleman right now. Then I'm going to come here and pick it up. And John's just going to heat and get glass. We don't need too much heat because we don't need to stretch it. But right now, notice that we're just pulling a little bit right there. And now we stop, and we look. And we look at each other. Do I got glass? Yes. So now I take a wet app squeegee, which I don't have, but John has. And we have soap and water. Somewhere, okay? Because right now, if I use this is a wet app squeegee. If I squeegee right now, it gets scratches instantly, okay? And if I use my monkey strip, I might not get as many, but I still get scratches. This is when you want to use soap and water. If you just use water, it glides, but it doesn't slide, or whatever. It didn't quite make sense.
It doesn't scratch.
But again, Ole's looking for the soap and water. So while Ole looks for the soap and water, we'll set up the other side, but this time we'll use the IR heater. So can we cut another piece? And so just so you know, this is a tool that Ole sells. Again, this is very popular in America, different styles. And what's different about this is you have to understand about chrome, okay? Chrome is a multi-layered film. And what this means is there's 3 different layers going on here, which means different tension points, okay? Unlike the red, which really flexes as one layer. You have to think about that. So this, you really have to kind of glide on. And if you use the IR heater, it really forms nice and clean. So again, we pull it off. We're going to set it at an angle here. So again, we maximize this piece. We're going to angle it just a touch more, right to here. So I got full coverage. And again, we just simply read the wrinkles. Put it to here. Cool. And all we do is just lock it in place very lightly right on the bridge between top and bottom, okay? And so now notice the difference now, and you can hear the difference, okay? Listen to the IR heater go. You don't hear anything. Okay, and what the IR heater is doing right now is really heating this through the film. This is a shortwave IR heater, and just a couple strokes is probably enough to do it. And then John puts it down, and what's nice about it, he just sets it down nice and easy, and then we're just going to pull exactly the same way as before, okay? And John's going to tweak it right there, and then I squeegee to the front and down, okay? So what I love about the IR heater is it just heated it nice and thorough. super clean. And what I like about it too is it just doesn't make much noise. So John and I are going to switch, middleman, backman, and we're going to come back here. Pick it up.
Little bit of heat on the back here, not a lot at all.
Not a lot of heat, but some. Why not? Heat is not, notice that when Kiss and I wrapped the hood, okay, and if you guys were standing here when we wrapped the hood, we didn't use any heat to get it on the hood. All we used heat is to kind of set up the edges and relax them before cutting. Because for me, I'm as an installer, I don't like to use a lot of heat. I think heat overstretching creates a lot of problems, okay? So now it's good. We use some heat, we create glass, we double check it. Notice that John went down, checked the edges. It's all about glass. Now that we have it here, I come back with my wet edge squeegee and I have my soap and water here, okay? Always spray your soap and water on the tire. Okay? I'm gonna spray it, 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 spray it. Get it super wet. The wetter the better, no doubt, okay? So I get it really, really wet. And because this has easy RS and it's very easy to squeegee, only now do I squeegee it on the hood. And notice that the easy is really letting the air escape, and then I just go back and forth. Back, not enough soap. And right now you can hear it squeak, and that means someone didn't put enough soap and water in this spray bottle.
And that's me, sorry.
Okay, so again, if you hear your squeegee like squeak, that means there's not enough soap. Okay, you want to just hear absolutely nothing, kind of like the IR heater. But now that it's down, I'll let John finish this side, and then I'll come back and squeegee. So he's going to release the knifeless tape, do the whole thing. Then I'm going to spray it one more time. And maybe while I squeegee down, Ole can talk about the IR heater.
Yeah, the IR heater, John, can you just grab it for me? The special thing using
this
IR,
no water, dude. I don't know what the fuck Ole was doing.
it has to be shortwave. The IR heater, if you see inside here, the reflector, it's 24 karat gold. That means it's also pretty expensive. But gold will reflect the energy a lot more than anything else. That's why we use gold in here. The other good thing is your on-off switch is right where you have your thumb. And for example, when you do a full bumper, here, look here how a huge area you can heat up instead of using a heat gun. So there's a lot of benefits using an IR heater. Justin, another thing is using steam for the chrome.
Awesome. Okay, so now also once we set up, even with the IR heater or the steam gun, with chrome you really want to make sure that it's really sealed on top of the knifeless tape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here, I'm going to grab the heat gun in this case because it's a little more nimble, which is here. And always with chrome you take it over the CPR and I'm just going to line it with heat and you can see it kind of jump. And if it jumps, that's not good because that's going to not mean a clean cut. So I always come back with my finger and I run it down top to bottom, and this means that I can cut. So again, what we showed yesterday with Phil doing the demos is right now I'm just going to fold it, pop it, and then I'm going to hand it off to Ole, who's going to keep on pulling up.
Slow down. Look here, go close up. Look here.
Right here.
You see it. This is a metal wire. Inside here, you can see it. Maybe it's easy to see it on the screen. But look here, when I cut, look at the cut, how nice it is.
Sure.
Smooth, easy.
Okay.
And ended up as a feather.
You want to cut this out?
Just in using steam, what about that?
Steam is good. And again, this is something that, so we used a chrome, or we used IR heater to put the chrome on, okay? But what's become very popular right now is using a steamer, like a pod steamer. Because what this does is it heats the material as well, okay? And right now, this you can use it for cleaning. A lot of this is used in tinting, mainly. But you can use different apparatuses on here. So if I were doing chrome, I could pop this bad boy off and slide this on, okay? And this is how John and I can, like, let's say, wrap a bumper, okay? We heat it up with the steamer, or we can come back over, and it really, what it does is it takes any scratches out of the chrome, and we can go over the whole area to get it nice and hot. And what this also does is just heats really through, and this actually in some ways kind of gets the adhesive really sticking on. And this is something that, again, Ole sells as well. So again, chrome for me is just a different animal. So we're using it as accent pieces right now, but obviously people wrap full cars with this as well, all right? But again, you have to understand that I'm going to draw it here. Let's say with the red, if we started here, we could stretch the red to here, okay? But with chrome, even though it's very conformable, we can maybe stretch chrome to there. So it's not quite as conformable as some films. So therefore, when you're wrapping something, let's say like this bumper or the mirror, you have to make the right choices. Okay, and on Instagram, everything looks great. Okay, but I guarantee you a mirror like that is wrapped in 2 pieces. Totally fine. Okay, but like all that kind of stuff back there is really straightforward, where you put a clean overlap on the back side and then you use your steamer. But again, for chrome, I highly recommend using at least 2 to 3 installers. So if I'm wrapping the car with Kiss and John, we never leave each other's side the whole time. Okay, even right now, we can actually try to wrap a mirror with a steamer if you want. Okay, so why doesn't Kiss, while John's finishing the cutting, Kiss can come on over here and we'll wrap the mirror just really quickly and try to steamer out. So you just can see different ways to wrap with chrome. Okay, so we'll just cut off a piece here. This is a good piece right here. Okay, so what we might do right now is, again, just have to be wary about water getting underneath it. But we're going to take the steamer now and we're just going to kind of get it nice and hot. So we put it right here. And I'm just going to we're just going to get it warm. Just heat it nice and thorough. And again, you want to have a piece that is big enough where you see the water evaporates pretty quickly. The water doesn't really get underneath the adhesive right now, and any water that's on it is going to really drip on the ground. Maybe come down a little bit down here. Nice and easy. Okay, and we're just making it a little more malleable. So we'll take it off and we'll just wrap it together. Okay, so we'll get it, again, similar placement here. And then what Kiss will do is just kind of hold it, and we're just going to watch the material together. Just kind of tax it on, and we're going to make any movements. Come back over here, shift. And we're going to pull really hard. Pull again. And I'm pulling really hard. The mirror shifts a little bit. Awesome. What can you do? But look how easily, once you warm it up, how easily it goes on. Okay? Now even here, we haven't squeegeed yet. So what we might do is now we could take an IR heater, if it's close by, or the... And again, we haven't squeegeed yet. No different than the hood. All right? If you squeegee, it's going to whiten. So we get a little hot right now. And again, I'm not pulling while Kiss does this. Just kind of heating it, holding it. Okay? And once we feel like it's warm enough, Kiss is going to grab it. And he's going to pull this side. And I'm going to pull here. Nice and firm. Nice and low and flat. And now we got it on the main surface area here. Okay? And then we're going to do the same thing on the bottom, where he's going to heat it. And again, we're not really pulling, and then he heats it enough, and then we get it enough to where it's on the back side, and this is where we cut it off, and now we've done this. And now that we have it here, how quick was that? Okay? Because we're working as a team. And then we spray our squeegee with soap and water, and then we apply it. I mean, this is only when I squeegee here. Only when I squeegee here and we get it on. But again, we're using either a steamer or an IR heater, and we're wrapping it together. Okay? There's times where I've literally wrapped the antenna of a car with 3 people. I've wrapped the bumper of a car with 4 people. But you wrap the bumper of the car in like 4 minutes. I don't know what you were saying. But again, for me, chrome is super exciting. Okay, but it's one of those tricky films to get on. And even at the end of the day, what I would personally do is laminate it for sure.
Absolutely.
John's wrapped a lot of chrome cars.
It takes all the scratches off, and if you do scratch it with a laminate, you just heat the scratches out, because the actual chrome is not scratched. The laminate itself is, and it heats out extremely well. And Justin was talking about using more than one person to help you with chrome. The more hands you have with chrome, the better off you are. Even your girlfriend or your wife, hey, hold this real quick. I mean, it's very, very important.
I mean, if you go to my website, actually, there's a picture of a Mini Cooper that's wrapped in chrome. Okay, and I wrapped that probably 3 years ago when chrome came out in Brunei, and I was working with 2 installers. One spoke Chinese and the other spoke Filipino. I couldn't even talk to them, but we knew how to wrap, and they knew how to pull, and we knew how to heat, and we literally wrapped that Mini Cooper in 4 hours because we worked together. We didn't leave each other's side. But what I want to impress upon you is look how easily it was to squeegee the material once it's on. Once it's on, it's easy. It's just getting it on. But if you work together with the right tools and the right team, chrome is one of those things where that's where you make the most money right now for color change. And if I could make the car red and make an X profit, But when I wrap it in chrome, and if I know how to wrap chrome, my profit goes up 40% to at least 100%. I think you agree as well.
Without question. I mean, you can double the cost of a color change if you're doing chrome.
So part of this demo is not only to show you how to wrap chrome, but to really get you to believe that, for me, it's not that hard. A lot of people say, oh my God, it's so hard. It is kind of hard if you don't know what you're doing, but once you know what you're doing, it's the name of the game. So again, I have a lot of videos on the Wrap Institute on about how to wrap chrome, and again, a lot of workshops and stuff like that. So
Justin, talking chrome,
yeah.
it has been like pretty popular now for 3-5 years.
4 years.
4 years.
Yeah.
That's 3-5.
Yeah.
I mean, but what is coming up? What is new? When you see over here, look at the wall over here.
Yeah.
Super nice color from Avery Dennison.
Yeah.
Coming up, I have a little sneak peek here.
Sure.
You want to see it?
Absolutely. I know what's
Here it
coming.
comes.
Absolutely.
What is that?
It's a cover that goes over your chrome.
Why not invite Avery Dennison sales guy in here? Tell what is it?
That would be a great idea, Ole.
Joshua, please step in here. Tell us a little about this.
Yeah, so we actually have 5 different colors chrome right now. So we have gold, silver, blue, red, and black. What we are launching, and this is not on the market yet, this is launching right now. You guys can buy it April. We have 3 new colors coming out, and it's actually a over laminate that goes over the chrome. So this is actually gold chrome with an orange over laminate. So there's going to be orange, purple, and green. And if you go down to our booth right at the entrance, you can see what the different colors do on all the different colored chromes. So you can make a number of different colors with these over laminates.
And these over laminates you put these over laminates through the laminator. It's not like you apply it twice, you just apply it once.
Yep, and then you can just apply it as a normal film.
Exactly.
April 1st, you guys can buy it.
Awesome.
And you can talk to Abby over here, or Jessica. They're both with Avery Dennison if you guys want more information on it. And again, all the color, not all of them, but there's a lot of colors over here. So.
Does anybody have any questions about chrome that you want to ask right now? This is your time.
Yeah, the color chrome market is getting
No,
enormous.
this is not laminated. No. The new one, you can laminate, sure.
Yeah, so you guys talked, there was a question, will the laminating help with the scratch problem? And you guys talked about lamination and then applying once it's laminated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You need to laminate chrome, in my opinion.
Because what we can do later is you can see that it's kind of spotty, and down in the AV booth is what they have aftercare products now. So what I would do if I wrap this with chrome is I would cover it with the Avery aftercare products, and what that does is it helps keeps it protected, but also keeps it from getting scratched. So I highly recommend aftercare products, especially with chrome, because the customer is going to pay $6,000 to $10,000 to get this on. You want to make sure that they clean it right, because if I clean it with soap and water and a paper towel, I'm going to scratch it. Simple as that. Okay, but it's cool stuff. So thank you all for watching, and we're going to get back to the contest. But have a great day. And tomorrow we're going to be talking about technique, triangles, and all that kind of good stuff, about how to grab faster, better, with higher quality.